Welcome to the Table Talk podcast, where we interview the top business leaders in their respective industries.
Awesome. Hey, what's going on, CJ? Welcome to the podcast. It's the Table Talk. I'm your host, Andrew Jones. We have a special VIP guest here, CJ. He is the CMO of Wallaroo Media, a digital marketing agency, changing the face of marketing. CJ, how you doing?
Andrew, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. Excited to be a part of this.
Awesome. So before we got on, I just asked you a bit about your business background. If you could just give us just a gist of what we were talking about and what it is that you guys do over at Wallaroo.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm CMO over Wallaroo, which is a digital marketing kind of full service digital marketing agency. We're based out of Provo, Utah, which is about an hour south of Salt Lake in Utah. And we primarily focus on e-com brands. So we work with a lot of e-commerce companies. Yeah, what I was telling you before, Andrew, is we've gone through some changes over the last year or so, especially.
Right.
I partnered with the founders of Wallaroo about 5-6 years ago. We helped to kind of build up an agency called Arvo that was focused on organic marketing services. So we focused a lot on SEO, organic search, as well as email, SMS, and organic side of social. Well, Wallaroo at the time was focused on paid media and the creative side. And the exciting news is this year we've kind of decided to come back under one umbrella, under Wallaroo. So I've kind of had my role evolve a little bit to where I'm focused on marketing for Wallaroo, and that's growth is kind of my focus for our business.
Awesome. So your expert superpower, if you had to define your expert superpower, your unique skill set, what you bring to Wallaroo that sets you apart, what would that be? And how has it shaped your success?
That's tricky. And my mind goes two places. The first is I feel like I can't take credit because I've worked with some awesome people, and I think being able to bring together the right people and work with, smart people that are good at what they do and want to be doing what they're doing. That's kind of my superpower in one regard, is being able to kind of surround myself with really solid people that like, working hard and doing good things in the world. So that's the first kind of thought, I guess, that I had. The other thought is, I think, one thing I excel at is with marketing, especially, there's a lot of big ideas, right? There's a lot of different things that you can do that take a lot of time and can, impact a business, either a little or a lot. And I feel like one of the things that I've become better at over the years, especially, is identifying what things are really going to move the needle the most, what things are going to have the biggest impact, and
Right.
to kind of help focus our efforts on those few things that are going to have the biggest result versus trying to do too many things, all at once. So
I see. I definitely understand that. Um, how has AI shaped the industry of digital marketing?
gosh, man, it's wild. AI is definitely changing things fast, and it feels like, every week there's a new tool or, a new platform coming out
Right.
that, is AI powered. If I had to say how it's changing things, I think it's really making it's changing expectations, I think, with clients. Again, we work with a lot of, e-com brands and businesses, and I
Okay.
think what people are finding is that with AI, you can get a lot more, right? So maybe it's a lot more content or a lot more, ad creative or other things done because of AI. And so it feels like there's kind of an expectation that there's a lot of stuff. And I think that's a double-edged sword. I think where we're able to really bring value is the ability to not only create more good stuff utilizing, AI, but also being able to kind of add the human element and the strategy and the direction
I
to be
see.
able to use all of these different tools, but at the end of the day, have a holistic strategy that's actually going to be meaningful and that's not just pumping out a ton of blog posts or a whole bunch of ads when really what you need is the right ads and the right content for what you're trying to accomplish.
And I assume when you guys get started with like a company like an e-com brand, you're not just, hey, make me the admin of your ads manager. I'm going to start running ads, but is you get to know the business first, correct?
100%. Yep. We definitely do a deep dive with any brand that we work with to make sure we really kind of understand who they are, who the target market is, what's working well,
CJ,
what's
are
not
you
working, so that we can learn from all those things to put together a strategy.
okay? Awesome, awesome. So, what inspired you to pursue your current path, and how has your vision evolved along the way?
It's a good question. So I've always been, fairly entrepreneurial. I like working with small businesses, and I've been involved in a number of startups and especially small marketing agencies. For oh gosh, 15, 18 years I've been involved in marketing, and again mostly with small companies. I think where the excitement started for me was when I built my first website. I was in college at the time, and I built a little website that was specifically focused on providing date ideas. So it was categorized lists of date ideas for people that were in the dating scene. And SEO at the time was relatively new. I had just been kind of learning about it, and so I worked with a few people that I knew to help create a website, and I had people in college that I was asking questions to about their favorite date ideas and things like that. And long story short, built this website, started to get it ranking for a whole bunch of different keywords like uh, creative date ideas, romantic date ideas, first date ideas, all these different terms. And it just opened my mind to this idea that anybody could have a voice on the internet, and um, you
Right.
can really get in front of people. And so I actually ended up selling that website. It helped pay my way through college. But it really kind of
Awesome.
sparked that excitement for me about, what was possible. And, from there, I, got to learn various other different marketing channels and tactics, and again, worked with, some small agencies, until, partnering with the founders here at Wallaroo, Brendan and Cade, uh, for uh, for Waller, what I'm doing now. So,
Okay, awesome, awesome. So, your secret sauce. What is your unique framework, strategy, or principle that you use in your work that you believe others in your industry overlook or underutilize?
hmm. Secret sauce is tricky. I think I'd almost say may, maybe I'm going to say the opposite of that. In that I feel like there's no way around some of the hard work that's required in marketing, especially. And I feel like our secret sauce, as an agency, really is that we
Right,
have
of course.
good, sharp people doing the daily tasks and the hard work that are required to, do a good job at marketing. And so, um, it takes, a lot of testing, and yes, a lot of things are repeatable, but that doesn't always mean that the results are going to be the same. And so, we'll take the great ideas and the things that we've
Of
learned from
course.
past campaigns, but you really have to almost treat everything as, a brand new starting point, a new campaign. And so I think in some ways that's kind of our secret sauce, is that we do the real work that's required to, get the results, and we put in the time and effort with every campaign to be strategic and to not lean too much on what's worked in the past, but to be creative and come up with new concepts and test and test and test until we figure out what's going to move things forward.
And stick. Definitely, you have to keep changing. And that's my next question here. Future proofing for success in a rapidly changing world. where do you see the industry of digital marketing in the next 5 to 10 years? And what are you guys doing to stay ahead of the curve?
Yeah. I think uh, I think one of the mistakes that we are seeing is AI is coming, right? It's here. There's more and more that's happening on the AI front, and like we talked
Uh-huh.
about before, there's so many things that are evolving and changing, and it's really fast paced. I kind of talk about how, yes, I've got 15 plus years of marketing experience, but two of them are relevant, right? Because things have just evolved so much in the last few years, and I think that the agencies that are going to see success are the ones that are embracing that, right? Not hiding from it or avoiding the changes and continuing to do things
Right,
the way they
right.
always have, but that are actually willing to spend the time learning all of the new tools and spending time in these LLMs and using Operator and all of the different AI tools that are out there, getting acquainted with those, because what at least my experience is, a lot of the clients that we work with, they know about these things, but they don't have the time to dig in and to really learn how to use every different
Mhm.
marketing tool. We've got literally dozens of different AI powered tools that we're using, and I think by becoming experts in those tools and being the
Mhm.
I guess human oversight and the creative
Right, right. I
behind
see.
making those tools work, allows us to kind of stay ahead.
Mhm.
And I think that's going to be important moving forward. The brands that
Right, right.
embrace AI with good smart people using it, those are the
Yeah,
ones that
yeah.
are
Using it ethically, right?
100%.
Uh,
Yep. And transparently, right? Making sure that, clients know when we're using AI,
exactly.
how we're using AI, and not just, saying, yeah, we can create, 5 ads for you. Let's run that through, a tool, right? We want to make sure that it's very clear in what ways we're using, these AIs and doing it, in an ethical, transparent way.
Outside of AI, what do you think I mean, I don't think AI is mainly a problem as a solution, but what's the biggest problem would you say is in your industry? And what are you guys currently doing to stay ahead of that curve?
It's interesting. I do feel like, AI does present some interesting challenges in the ease of producing
Uh-huh.
content, right? I maybe taking a step back. I remember a time in SEO where I got really frustrated with how search engines like Google were rewarding sites that were just pumping out tons and tons and tons of content, right? Like there was a time when SEO was all about, let's just push out thousands of these, low quality articles, maybe even, spun, right? Where it was one article that was spun into, a dozen articles. And
Yeah, yeah.
they incentivized, I think, the internet being flooded with a whole bunch of lower tier, lower quality content that wasn't really serving a great purpose.
Yeah, they prioritize volume over quality.
Yes, 100%. And I have a little bit of a fear that AI can, you know, be a part of that problem, right? If it's not used in the right
Mhm.
ways. I think it's really
I see,
important
I
that
see.
if we're leveraging AI and these tools, that we're doing it to not just create more, but also make sure that what we're creating is better. And I think it has the power to do that, right? There's some amazing, tools out there, and you get access to so much more data and the ability to create content, iterate, test in really meaningful ways. You just have to do it, the right way.
Right, right. Amazing. Yeah, I mean, AI could be a double-edged sword, right? Do you guys use it to create content for people, or is it more so like to navigate the algorithm? Like, how do you guys use it specifically for,
Yeah.
let's say, like an e-com brand?
Sure. So there's a number of ways that we're leveraging AI. Some of it's uh, really is kind of part of a lot of the tools and things that we use. You've probably noticed a lot of marketing tools and things out there now have AI components or intelligence that are kind of being added in. And so we're taking advantage of those wherever possible for things like, creative insights or data analysis is huge. So where before, we may have tons and tons of data that's collected through analytics and through tagging of sites and things like that. Now I feel like we've got a lot of tools at our disposal that help us sift through that data and make actionable insights, because the AI can help us look and compare lots of different metrics. So data comparison is actually
Nice.
one big one that I think is sometimes overlooked. Content creation is definitely part of it. On our end, we typically use it more on the ideation, research, outlining stage.
Mhm.
Got a great team of writers that I think have all become a lot more productive because they're able to leverage AI, but also layer in human insight and creativity and things like that. But it does make them, able to produce more, and I think at a higher quality if we do it right. So those are some of the things that come to mind for me. But we're testing all sorts of fun things, even fully AI UGC type ads and creative. And again, we have to make sure we're doing that in a good ethical way. But it's amazing, what's out there and some of the things that you can do.
Awesome. Now, lastly, here, what advice would you give to like an aspiring entrepreneur to follow in your footstep, whether as a consultant or industry expert?
Mm. Yeah, I think experience is huge, especially in marketing. In
Hmm.
all the interviews that I've done and roles that I've hired for, very seldom does somebody's degree or professional training mean a lot to me, for the
Yeah.
position I've been hiring for. I would much rather see that somebody was running a social media account for their dad's business, right? Or that they got an internship where they were able to run some ads or write copy for a brand. I think that real world experience, and the ability to think creatively and solve problems, those I think are huge. So anything that somebody can do to start getting that experience, even if it's like I did, build your own website, try something, right? Even a failed
Right,
attempt,
right, of course.
or a failed
Because
business,
you learn, you
that's
get
awesome.
feedback.
Yeah, I love to see that. Like, and I don't think that people should shy away from sharing those types of experiences.
Exactly. Because you get feedback, you learn, and you grow. So, listen, at this part of the podcast, I like to shake things up. We do what is called just a fire of questions, okay?
Okay.
Um, Coffee or tea?
You know what? I am LDS Mormon here in Utah, so I don't drink coffee or tea. I'm a Dr. Pepper guy.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Not even tea?
Not even tea. Crazy enough.
Awesome. Cat or dogs?
Dogs. Although my dog barely
Oh,
qualifies. I've got a 6 pound
okay,
dog
now
right now.
listen. Wow, awesome. Listen, now this question here, this is interesting. If you were in a zombie apocalypse, what weapon would you grab?
Oh man, zombie apocalypse. Okay, my brain's going fire. I want like a flamethrower.
That's mine, a flamethrower. But how long can
Okay,
that go? That's my
that's
thing.
just
Reach
true. I
is
don't know.
very important.
I need a lot of propane.
Amazing. Favorite quote or phrase that you think about often?
Uh, I wish I could attribute this, but it's been bouncing around in my head. And the quote is, and I might misquote this, but you'll worry less about what people think when you realize how seldom what you'll sorry, I'm gonna start over. You'll worry
Right.
less about what people think of you when you realize how seldom they do. And basically the idea is just that I think sometimes we worry a lot about what other people think and what they're, judging you on, when the reality is most of us are in our own world. We're not really, thinking that deeply about other people's mistakes or the things that they're doing. And I think if we can get out of our own heads and just focus on moving forward, that's a good thing.
Most definitely. I understand that. Um, Favorite movie?
I think I had some connection issues there. I got favorite movie. Is that what you asked?
Yeah, what's your favorite movie?
Um, Emperor's New Groove.
Sorry, I didn't get that. What was that?
Oh, I'm sorry. The Emperor's New Groove. I think that's my favorite movie.
Okay, your favorite streaming series?
Mm, I've got four little kids, so Disney Plus probably keeps them entertained.
Awesome, awesome. One bucket list item. One bucket list item you have already accomplished, and one that you haven't.
Oh, I mentioned my little kids, my family. That's my big focus and my bucket list. And I've got an amazing
Mhm.
wife, amazing kids, and that's what I'm proudest of in my whole life, right? Um, I'll go out there a little bit with my bucket list item, but since I was like 16, I've wanted to drive on the Autobahn, and I I think at some point
Right.
I'm gonna rent an Aston Martin and drive on the Autobahn, and that'll be my bucket list item.
That's amazing. I'm here for it, man. Hope you get to do that. That's amazing. Listen. Thank you, CJ, for coming on here. It was a blast. Um, how can people get in contact with you if they wanted to connect with you or your company on social? Throw up some links. What you guys have going on?
Yeah, so Wallaroo Media, that's the website. So wallaroomedia.com, that's where you'll find us. New website coming soon. We've got we're on most of the socials as Wallaroo Media. Um, I'm not great on social myself, but I'm at CJ Lewis 43 if on X.
Okay, it's time to stretch. It's time to come out there. Okay, cool. So again, thanks for having you on. We are gonna send this out to our list. They're gonna love this. You guys get in contact with CJ and connect with Waru Media. Again, thanks for having you on. It was great, man.
Hey, great to be here. I appreciate it. Appreciate the time.
All right, thanks. Okay, so see, short, sweet, to the point. Okay, awesome.
I I feel bad.
Um,
I think I had some connection issues there for a minute. Hopefully it all came through okay.
Yeah, so that's Riverside, right? They will they're like the Zoom of podcasting, right? Like they will see that and they will fix it, right? Because I was seeing your connection issues. So watch what they do with it, right? Like they blow me. Like I could sneeze and you won't know that I sneezed.
Wow.
It's pretty decent. But I seen that you were having the issue, so I sped things along there quickly though. But if worst case scenario, if Riverside can't do it, just reach out. We could do it again, and we could dive even deeper. But listen, so you guys are a huge media company. I like to make connections, so I do work with a referral partner where he helps people like social media agencies, etc. Just bring in a boatload of customers into their business. If you guys are open to something like that, I could just make a quick referral, and it could just walk you through the process of how that works, and let you guys know how we could get your guys' business in front of more e-com brands, etc.
Yeah, if you want to make
How's that sound?
I'd love to chat with him if you want to make a connection. Did I lose you?
Okay, cool. So okay, cool. We're still kind of breaking up
Yeah,
here
I'm
a bit,
sorry.
but
I'm not sure
listeners,
why. But yes, if you want to make a connection there, I'd love to meet with them.
okay, cool. Just check your email in the next like 48. We'll have all the recordings and all of the information, and I'm gonna make the referral. And listen, man, good luck in your journey. I look forward to seeing your growth with this company. And listen, personally, if I have any referrals of ecom brand that needs some help, I'll definitely have them reach out to you
Oh, thank you.
guys.
I sure appreciate it. Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you. Let me know if I can do anything for you guys.
All right, thanks a lot. Peace.